Schools are closed for the rest of the week throughout Barrow County, Georgia, after 2 students and 2 teachers were murdered in a mass shooting at Apalachee High School. Students laid flowers in front of a makeshift memorial at last night's vigil. And this morning, Ariel Bowling, a sophomore, was on the Today Show with her mother, talking about the trauma they've experienced.
I'm trying to hold up myself, just still really in shock of processing everything that happened. We heard shots fired and we ran back into the room and we just all piled up on top of each other in the corner. I saw a deceased body on the floor, but it was covered up, and I saw a female with a shot wound to her leg, and it was just really traumatic experience.
I heard 5 gunshots, and then the phone went dead, so I didn't know if she was hurt.
I just feel like you're basically never safe anywhere.
She told me she's never coming back here. I just don't know what to do. It's scary.
Joining me now is Lisa Morgan, president of the Georgia Association of Educators. This is an unspeakably difficult time, so thank you for being with us. I want to read part of the statement that you posted on your group's website. We enter our schools each day believing that they are the safest places in our community, and once again, that trust has been shattered. This was the 23rd school shooting in K through 12 this year. Can you put into words what it's like to be in the middle of it? And I wonder what goes through your mind when you hear a mother saying that her child has told her she's never going back.
As a classroom teacher, you put yourself in that position, and we all enter our classes every day. And the utmost thing in our mind as we walk in the classroom is, how am I going to ensure that my students learn today? It should not now. It is, but it should not be. How am I going to ensure that my students go home safely? That the entire perspective has changed, and it is traumatic. It is disheartening. And it's frankly, I'm afraid, going to push more really good educators out of our classrooms. And it's so understandable that this student feels this way. As adults, we don't want to go back to somewhere that we've experienced trauma, and that we're going to expect these students to come back and walk back in that same place. It's horrifying.
And we know there's been a lot of research on this, that many of these students already felt traumatized by what they went through with COVID. Educators as well, extremely difficult time. Now this. I know that these students at Apalachee were barely a month into the school year. For them, for the teachers who will have to return to that building, presumably at some point, what resources are available?
This is something we've been asking for. We've been asking for more counselors, more school social workers, more school psychologists to be available. And typically what happens in these situations is they will bring in additional school counselors, social workers, but they're not there permanently. It's a short term, and then those resources that are needed every day are no longer there. And that is one of our concerns in this situation for all of our students, that we provide more mental health resources for them within their schools, and that they be permanent positions that are going to be there to allow students to deal with these traumatic experiences.
And what about for teachers who find themselves with a classroom full of kids who we know they feel they need to protect? It's very, very challenging to do when somebody has an AR rifle.
It is impossible to protect the students in that situation. Even if we succeed in protecting them physically, we are not able to protect them mentally and emotionally from the impacts of these types of situations. One of the things that has been so clear, you have heard over and over, I never thought it would happen in my community. we have to expand that because when it happens in any community, that community has to be our community. We have to solve the problem so that we don't have parents and students and educators in another community experiencing this trauma.
All we can do from afar is, unfortunately, offer our prayers, offer our thoughts, and hope that you get the resources that you need, as I said, in this unspeakably horrific situation. Lisa Morgan, thank you. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you.